This video is going to be a deep dive into advanced squishy making techniques. I've recently started making some fairly complex tabas, but couldn't explain the steps behind them since they were all in short format. So this tutorial will cover different types of molding silicone, squishy silicone, and how to choose the correct material based on the design you're making. For the example pieces, I'm going to create 4 mascots, loosely inspired by niche fruit memes and my shower foam collection. I've recently collaborated with the Austrian beauty brand A&D Beauty to create 4 shapeable shower foams. The foam looks so unreal and satisfying that half the people from this video thought it was AI. But quite the opposite, this is a real product, and we also put a lot of thought into the color and scent. The 4 smells are cherry, coconut, mango, and matcha. Matcha is the rarest one in the collection and also the hardest to create a body for. My initial idea is to create a cup-shaped head like ballerina cappuccina with a matcha foam top. This also reminds me of one of the very first YouTube videos I ever made, which was a latte art cat. I'm going to use roughly the same technique, but instead of working directly onto polymer clay, I need to turn the cup into a Taba squishy first. The trickiest part of this DIY is sculpting a shape that's visually realistic and perfectly symmetrical. I'm starting by slicing a ball in half with dental floss to create a clean, flat edge. Then I'm carving out the rim of the teacup with a scalpel and removing the inside bit by bit. This part takes ages, but it's the only way I can get these nice sharp edges. Now I'm using a ball tool to make the eye sockets and adding small pieces of clay to build up the facial features. I feel like I've really come quite far sculpting these faces compared to the very first clay fruit I made this time last year. Then I'm attaching the handle and making sure everything is smoothed down. If you remember this matcha bear DIY, then you deserve a prize for channel loyalty. This was another project I made ages ago, and I want to use the same technique for the matcha part. Instead of using silicone, I'm going to make the foam with air dry clay. This is the first mixed media squishy I've tried, so I'm excited to see how it turns out. For the cherry taba, I'm starting with another ball of polymer clay. The main challenge for this one is that it's very small. This is probably the smallest model I've done after the blueberry from this video. But since I want to have the mouth open, there's a lot more detail to include. I'm careful about not overworking this because once a contour gets flattened out, it's very hard to go back. The final 2 fruits are much easier to sculpt. The coconut is based on this viral AI clip and just requires 2 lips. The mango is even simpler, and the color reminds me of the Dur memes. I'm going to create an indent for the mouth to make it easier to paint later on. Now I finally have all 4 clay models. I'm going to bake these for 30 minutes at 100 degrees Celsius. When it comes to making molds, smaller ones tend to be easier since you don't have to use a lot of material. I recommend covering the clay with Vaseline at this point because it makes it easier to demold later on. I've also started using disposable containers like yogurt cups because I find it more convenient to just let the silicone cure and then throw everything out instead of trying to clean up the cups. It's also worth mentioning that liquid silicone should never go down the sink because it might cure by accident and destroy your pipes. So always leave your silicone to solidify before disposing of it. You have to check that your piece fits inside the container with a small gap on all sides. If it touches the plastic anywhere, then that's going to create a hole. I'm using this type of molding silicone, which you can find easily on Amazon or AliExpress. It has a Shore 20 hardness, which makes it flexible but much firmer than squishy silicone. The main advantages of liquid molding is that it picks up every detail and is ideal for 3-dimensional shapes. It's also easy to demold since you can cut it, and the thin consistency allows air bubbles to escape. The main disadvantage is that this drags out the total time needed for a project because you have to factor in an extra mixing and curing cycle for the mold. There's also a higher risk for mess since accidentally spilling liquid silicone can cause irreversible damage on a lot of surfaces. I generally use liquid molding for complex 3-dimensional pieces like the teacup and silicone putty for simpler shapes. This is the putty, which also has a 50-50 mixing ratio but a very low risk for mess. It's important to press your piece inside smoothly and apply gentle pressure from all sides. This reduces the chances of air bubbles. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to cure, so you can proceed to the next step right away. However, one drawback is that the putty only works for relatively flat shapes. Even for something as simple as the coconut, I have to start with a really large ball so I can cover up all the sides. As you can see here, the lips have pushed out a bit too far and have almost created a hole. This is a problem you can never get with liquid molding since the object is fully submerged. This is still on the borderline though, and I think I can fix it by covering the base with some clear tape. You can also slice silicone molds to make them easier to open, which I had to do with the mango. It's best to do this in one clean cut and in a place that's not too obvious. Before you start, always grease the mold with a thin layer of Vaseline. I'm using this regular Taba gel, which was actually one of the brands I tested out in this video here. I couldn't find the other ones anymore, but this one is still sold in large bottles and it always cures perfectly within 3 hours. Taba squishies need oil-based pigments, so make sure they're compatible with silicone and not resin. I would also recommend adding an opaque base, which is just any pigment containing titanium white, so it becomes less see-through. This makes small details such as the eyes and lips more visible. For the mango squishy, I'm going to use cream silicone. I made a whole video on that here, and it's basically a very thick textured Taba gel for making denser and more slow-rising squishies. The reason is because I want to try mixing 2 shades, and the thicker consistency means the colors won't dissolve completely into each other. I'm using an orange and a yellow and pouring both of them inside at the same time. Now for the demolding. Another advantage of using disposable containers is that you can simply cut them apart. I'm a bit worried about how to demold the teacup handle since that's fully encased inside. I'm slicing into the mold exactly where the handle is and carefully cutting one side free. Then I'm removing the polymer clay without damaging the silicone. When creating very detailed custom molds like this, the clay model is almost always going to break during the process, but that's perfectly fine. The most important part here is the mold. I want to go with a white teacup, so I'm just adding a bit of pigment and pouring the Taba gel inside. This demolded incredibly well, and I'm really happy to see that the handle is perfectly intact. Now I'm just going to stick the eyes on using E6000 glue. I want to make this into a puppet like most of my niche fruit tabas, so I'm cutting open the mouth before adding the clay. This requires a lot of stretching, and I don't want to damage anything by accident. I'm making a hole in the back so I can add a hair clip later on to make the mouth move. Next, I'm taking a small disc of white paper clay and placing this on top of the cup. Just like all of my latte art videos, I'm going to texture this using a little bit of water. I'm leaving the clay to dry before moving on to the next step so the wetness of the paint doesn't dissolve the milk foam texture. Since this is a matcha latte, I'm going to mix up a nice green color and create a latte art pattern on top. This is so tiny that the only tool I can use is the tip of a toothpick. I'm also pulling away the edge of the cup and making sure the color goes all the way down the sides. Then once everything is dry, I'm gluing the clay onto the silicone using E6000. Lastly, I'm going to add some cheeks using blusher. Taba squishies are sticky enough so that powdered pigment sticks very well and you can get a nice soft transition. The cherry is pretty easy to demold, and I'm going to add the eyes first. I found these apples with freakishly long stems that look perfect for an oversized cherry. I'm just going to cut them off and check which one works best. Then I'm cutting a hole into the top of the cherry, filling it with glue and then pushing the stem inside. For the final mango taba, I'm painting the mouth using a mixture of E6000 and acrylic paint. I'm going to use these funny felting eyes that remind me of Durs. Some toy eyes come with a screw in the back, which you can simply cut away for making squishies. It's best not to insert any eyes inside the silicone because the natural elasticity of the taba will keep pushing it out before the glue has time to dry. The gradients of the cream taba worked pretty well, but I think I should have used more contrasting shades because this is very subtle. And here are all 4 fruits representing the 4 scents of my A&D Beauty shower foam. I can make the mouth open and close in most of these, which means I can do that silly reverse tongue trick or try feeding it fruits. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you want to try out my shower foam, I've linked all the shopping details down below. I'm Joanna, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!